Just general chatty, really. Finally, after about 5 years, I've finally reached 100 subscribers. Woohoo to me for at least getting to 100 subscribers over 5 years. Doesn't surprise me. I'm surprised I've got 100, to be honest with you. I really am. Um, but yeah, good on me. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go to TikTok or not. I mean, I might do. I might go to TikTok for a bit. I don't know. I don't really have that much time, so I don't think I will. Yeah, I'm just explaining that now, Observer. I don't have the time tonight. I'm busy in about another hour or so until the rest of the night, so there's not really time to do a TikTok. Just thought I'd come here just to get YouTube going still, trying to get more than 100 subscribers. See if I can try and get 101 subscribers. It took me 5 years to get 100, so hopefully in another 10 years' time, I might have 200. We'll see. But yeah, so I just thought I'd come here, do this quick one, because I've also nearly used up all of my free allowance time on the StreamYard for this month. So I thought I'd just get a few more hours in to finish using that up. And just to explain, on my next TikTok, I will be talking about the or the so-called preservation of the Quran, because I've done quite a lot on the uncorrupted Bible and how the Quran confirms the uncorrupted Bible. And now I wish to go on and do a bit about how, the Quran has not been preserved, as the Muslims claim. The Quran they use today is sort of a Quran that came hundreds of years after Muhammad, and the person who wrote it didn't even know Muhammad. Uthman, who burnt all the original Qurans and wrote his own one, that doesn't even exist today. So it's yeah, it's all total garbo, the claims on how it's preserved, which is why even today, I mean, the reason why Uthman burnt them all was because there were so many different Qurans in the first place, and he got rid of them all by burning them all, and then writing his own Quran. And yet today, the Uthman Quran doesn't exist, but we still have over 37 completely different Qurans. So yeah, huge problems with this Quran and its so-called preservation, which basically doesn't exist. It's non-existent. And so, I think it's important to point out all of these misconceptions and well, downright lies regarding the Quran, basically. Um, and the claims they make upon the Bible, because it's clear the Bible's true, the Quran is false, and all they've got is just claims with no evidence whatsoever. There's no evidence for the Quran. There's no manuscript evidence dating back to Muhammad's time. There's absolutely nothing at all. And so, yeah, thought I'd just come here, do a quick thing on that. Hopefully, get more than 2 viewers, which is what I normally get. And it's what I got again today. Oh ho, ho ho. That's how it goes sometimes, I suppose. We can't all be blessed with getting 2,000 people listening to us. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know whether to do the next TikTok stream on the preservation of the Quran or Muhammad was a Christian, because that's something else that's been floating around. To do Muhammad was a Christian, along the lines of how they come out with Jesus was a Muslim. Yeah, and see how we go there. The only problem I have with that is quite clearly Muhammad was not a Christian, or if he was, then he was a very, very bad Christian. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stay long again, observe anyway. So, I literally just came just to have a little testy with it and try to get viewers to come to this channel, because they don't seem to come. And as I say, it's a bit disappointing, really, to have this channel, have it up and running, and it's not really used. Um, I didn't. That's why I didn't even post a link for Muslims to come up and join, because if Christians don't join, then Muslims won't join, and that's the problem we have. It's the same problem I had on Clubhouse. On Clubhouse, I would go in and open rooms with a particular topic, and no one would come into the room. No Christians would come into the room, because no Christians would come into the room, and Christians would then be talking about the subject. No Muslims entered the room either. Um, and that's the problem. That's what I say. If you get channels where 30, 40, 50, 60 or more Christians enter the channel and they're all chatting in the chat, then Muslims start to enter. They can see and they stay and start to, start to get involved. But of course, when you have channels where no Christians even bother to enter, or bother to even, you know, chat and debate in the chat amongst themselves. Muslims don't bother. They come in, they see that the room's completely empty, they see that no one's taking any notice whatsoever, and they go, because there's no need for them to stay. There's no need for them to stay, even though you're talking about things that will embarrass their religion, such as the hadiths that say, they can have sex with animals. Um, you know, it's pointless talking about those things, because if there's no Christians here, there's no Muslims here, then what's the point? There's no point in going through the hadiths that say that there's no punishment on them if they have sex with an animal. And the same hadith also states that if a ram or a goat is having sex with a woman and the woman gets pregnant from that sex, that child doesn't belong to the owner of the ram or the goat. The child belongs to the woman, because in Islam, usually the child belongs to the male um, person. So yeah, and as I say, the particular hadith that says Muslims can have sex with animals and there's no punishment on them, that same hadith also states, as I say, that if a woman becomes pregnant from having sex with an animal, the child doesn't belong to the animal owner, it belongs to the woman. All strange, all strange behaviour. But yeah, I mean, no point, no point discussing it, because no one here to be listening, really. So what's the point of discussing Muhammad having sex with his dead aunt, or Muhammad? Um, what's the other hadith that's on the tip of my tongue? What one was it again? Come on. Oh yeah, Muhammad being rode all night long by well-hung um, African men. Um, yeah, as I say, not much point in discussing things like that. And of course, the Quran, um, the thousands and thousands of errors that are in the Quran, such as the verse that says, no one can bear the sins of another in Islam. I can't quite remember off the top of my head what Quran verse that is, which is another thing I'm going to do a topic on, hopefully on TikTok one day. Yeah, the Quran verse, no one can bear the sins of another in Islam. Yet, the hadith state that come Judgment Day, Allah is going to take the sins of the Muslims so that they can go to Jannah and place those sins upon Christians and Jews. How contradictory is that? That's hugely contradictory. Not to mention, of course, how the Quran claims that Isa was replaced on the cross by an innocent substitute. Again, isn't that not replacing the sins onto another innocent one? Yeah, so as I say, not really a lot of point in discussing things like that when no one comes in to listen to them. But there you go. I didn't expect them to. All right then, peeps. God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all. I'm going to go now because, as usual, no one's coming to listen. Never mind. Never mind. Hopefully they'll flock to God Logic and David Wood and Apostate Prophet even more, and get the information from those people who I know discuss these subjects as well. But yeah, that's it. So God bless you all, people. Good peace of Christ to you.